Leeds United's transfer news had been very much in one direction for the past however long, weeks, months, I don't know, and nobody was particularly expecting what is genuinely a little bit of a bombshell sale, as Baron Cross of The Athletic, so you know it's coming from a very, very solid source, has announced that Leeds United are set to be selling Pascal Struijk for £20 million in this transfer window. We'll get into all of that in a couple of moments' time. It is basically brand new news, so I'm sort of absorbing this at the same time as I'm telling you this, so it's going to be a very, very interesting one to see the sort of direction on this one. But there is a hell of a lot of detail to be discussed here, and it's all. That was a fun little hiccup at that time. A little bit weird. So, to explain absolutely all of the information, it's been announced primarily by Baron Cross at The Athletic, so again, being from The Athletic, you know that there is some solid information behind it because The Athletic don't tend to publish anything unless they know that it is effectively true for £20 million. All of the terms of the transfer were reportedly agreed today at the time of recording, so Saturday. I don't know if I'm releasing this one in the morning or if I'm releasing this one basically as soon as it's recorded. We will find out. And then Brighton will then formally send the offer over to Leeds United at some point as soon as possible in order to solidly complete that move. Now, in terms of the sources, multiple sources with knowledge of the deal, because they spoke anonymously, not authorised to speak publicly, have confirmed that that is what the fee is, and a lot of people will see the £20 million fee and think that Leeds United have been robbed or something along those lines, but we do need to consider the wider context of it. Whilst Pascal Struijk is a very, very solid centre-back, like Premier League, very, very good, knows what he's doing, we do need to consider the fact that he is in his final year of his contract, and according to the various bits of information that have come out from Baron Cross, Leeds United tried to extend that contract, which is ultimately what you're going to do. He's one of our sort of group of captains. He's absolutely a core player in that squad. But he fancied a little bit of a different challenge. Now, we had a choice in this situation, and the choice was either try and persuade him for the next 12 months, which, you know, you never quite know what direction that one's going to go in, or your choice is to let him go on a free or sell him now. And as we've benefited from the leave someone to go for a free situation with Harry Wilson, we've learned the level of quality of player that you can accidentally let go because you spent 12 months trying to persuade them and failed. Leeds United took an alternative route. The alternative route was we can cash in right now, and we can cash in by selling him to Brighton for what is a genuinely, considering he's only got 12 months left on his contract and would leave for free next year anyway, a very, very good free. Free? Fee. It's late. It is roughly £2 million, €2 million, because it's not quite £24 million, per month of playing time, which is not bad in the slightest. He's spent a hell of a lot of time at Leeds United. I wouldn't quite call him a club legend, because that's a little bit of a stretch, but having 196 appearances is huge. But this does leave a potential issue for Leeds going forwards, because we've got quite a lot of work to do. The work that needs to be done now is not only sign someone to play in the sort of left-back position, because we don't really have depth behind Gabby Goodmanson. It's not a case of having to find someone to play in central midfield, because we're looking to potentially get Shea Charles and build up there. It's not even a case of getting a backup left centre-back anymore. No, because, well, the main left centre-back is now gone. Which means that Leeds United, as a club that play with 3 centre-backs, currently have 3 centre-backs, which means that this summer just got significantly busier. And this could explain the increase in volume around the sort of Nico Elvedi conversation, because maybe there's a little bit of a reason that Leeds were sniffing around and shopping around centre-backs that are primarily left-footed and have experience of playing under Daniel Farke. This whole thing is deeply, deeply interesting, I think. The whole situation shows a big shift in the way that the club are approaching the way that we do transfers. Because previously, in previous seasons, it was a case of do everything we can to keep that core of the squad together. Last season, there was an offer for Pascal Struijk late on, and we effectively said, no, we'll try and keep him. and see if we can extend that contract and push and go forward and forward and forward and forward, and hopefully everything is going to be completely fine. And we kept him for those 12 months, and we didn't sell him last summer, and I'll be honest, us refusing to sell him last summer is potentially a reason that we stayed in the Premier League, because Pascal Struijk was really good last season. But if we're unable to persuade him, the 49ers have done the clever thing and effectively gone, right, fine, that's okay, we'll pivot. We'll go from Pascal Struijk to another left-sided centre-back, which hopefully he's just as good. And the way that football finance tends to work is we can sign someone for vastly more than that £20 million, just amortise it. Because if you sign someone for 60 million quid over a 4-year contract, that takes £15 million per season in terms of costs, as opposed to that straight up £60 million the moment you make that signing, which is kind of good. It means that we've opened up a significant amount of budget for what is genuinely a decent fee. And I know this is going to be a big topic of conversation in comment sections all across the Leeds United side of the internet. It's going to be a case of Pascal Struijk as a key player. How have we only sold him for £20 million? Or what was the point in us keeping him around when we could have sold him for 25 last year or whatever? We don't know what the fee would have been last summer, but whatever. I think given the cards that we've been dealt, given the cards of 12 months left on the contract, we found out in the past year that he doesn't want to extend, now is the time to sell. £20 million for 12 months is a fantastic deal that we've managed to get out of Brighton. Brighton being a side that are incredibly good at negotiating deals, I think we've done pretty damn well by this one. I'm surprised it was Brighton. I've got to be honest with you. I thought he would probably look towards the Bundesliga, maybe Italy, somewhere like that. I think in my eyes he was going for a little bit of a higher ceiling in terms of where he would go. I thought it wouldn't be a case of Brighton, which is, let's be honest, at the most you're going to play in the Europa League, unless it's a case of using them as a springboard, but at the same time he's 26 years old. So he's not really at the age to do that. In terms of next steps for Leeds United, things are complex. It becomes a case of, does that left centre-back become the priority now? Because we filled out last season's priority, which was right winger / number 10. Now we've got Harry Wilson. And it's like we didn't have one position that was standing above all that needed to be filled, but now we do. We need a very, very good left-sided centre-back, or we could be in trouble next season. We will move quickly, I imagine, and we will move very effectively, I will hope, but it's going to be interesting. Anyway, that's all what I think, throwing all of the ideas together in my head in a short video. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you enjoyed, pop a like on this video, subscribe, become a channel member, all that fun stuff. Hope you, I would say enjoyed normally, but hope you're not too panicked, and I will see you all later. Toodaloo, me amigos.